All right, we're going to talk about the distributive property. And if you're not, I don't know if you can remember this or not, but when we're talking about polynomials or expressions in general, we said there are three things you can do. One thing was to simplify, one thing was to evaluate, and the other thing was to rewrite. And you rewrite using properties. This is one particular property called the distributive property. All you really need to do is distribute things. So let me do this by way of example. If I did 3 times x plus 5, I want you to notice a couple of things here. There is multiplication here. There is multiplication. Something on the outside was multiplied by something, some things combined on the inside. I also want you to recognize that this is addition in between them. It might be subtraction also, because we know addition is another way of subtraction. Subtraction is another form of addition. So notice that when both of these things are present, I can do, in fact, I should do the distributive property. Well, all I really need to do in order to distribute is make sure that I take this 3 and multiply it, because it's multiplication, by this thing, and, because it's addition, multiply it by that thing. All right, so what I would do is do just that. 3 times x is 3x. And then when I take a look at 3 times 5, I take this whole thing into account. So it's 3 times positive 5, which is a positive 15. So 3x plus 15 is this thing rewritten. They are equivalent. They are the same value. I just use the distributive property to rewrite it. All right. What if I had like negative 2 times y plus 2? Well, you would do the same thing. Notice that this negative 2 out here needs to be distributed to both the y and the 2. There is an addition there. So I do one thing at a time. What about negative 2 times y? Well, that's negative 2y. Then I'm going to consider this thing, negative 2 times positive 2, which is a negative 4. As long as I can't simplify any further, combine like terms and such, then I'm done. What if I did something like negative, and in parentheses, x minus 2, for example? All right, well, in order to do this, I'm still going to distribute, because I still have multiplication out here, and I still have an addition or subtraction symbol on the inside. Now, don't forget that even though it's not written, it is assumed to be something out there in the form of a 1. And so when I distribute, I need to do negative 1 times this, and then negative 1 times that. And by that, I mean the whole sign. First, negative 1 times x is just negative 1x, or just negative x. And then negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. Can't do anything else with that. All right, let's take a look at one that's in Alex, and it's, it has a couple of extra items on there. Let me see if I can squeeze that in here. For example, it's negative 4w plus 4, and I'm still going to add to that 3w when I'm done. So I need to distribute to get rid of the parentheses. Negative 4w, negative 16, and I still need to bring down this 3w right here. So I did the distributive property to take care of this piece, but I still had another piece, and look, I can combine like terms. I have a w term and a w term. I have negative 4 plus 3, that's going to leave me with a negative 1w, and then I still have this minus 16. So when I plug that in there, unless I made a simple mistake somewhere, minus 16, we should be good to go. All right, that's the distributive property. You may see this property pop up in a whole bunch of different things when we solve equations later or simplify other bigger things, but the process is always the same. Distribute this thing on the outside by everything on the inside. All right.